They had lived through the Great Depression, World War II, the Cold War, the birth of television, the arrival of computers, and finally a world where almost everyone carries the internet in their pocket. Some lived past 100, some reached 102. One even talked about feeling like $1 million. But when Europeans asked these Americans the question most people spend their entire lives trying to answer, what really matters? The answers were not what you might expect. No one talked about becoming rich. No one talked about having the perfect career. And surprisingly, very few talked about avoiding old age. Instead, after a century of living, they started talking about things that sound almost too simple. Love, family, purpose, and simply continuing to live. One centenarian remembered growing up during the Great Depression. Nothing came easily. She worked, served her country, built a career, married, raised a family, and watched America transform around her. Her generation lived through a world where women were expected to stay home. Then, World War II changed everything. She saw women enter roles they had once been denied. She saw technology transform everyday life. She saw America change completely. And yet, after all those decades, her lesson wasn't complicated. Keep going. Another centenarian described losing the people he loved. Friends disappeared. His wife passed away. Eventually, he found himself becoming what he called the last man standing. And that might be one of the hardest parts of living a very long life. You don't just collect memories, you eventually have to carry memories of people who aren't there anymore. But his answer was devastatingly simple. Life goes on. So do the things you love. That may be one of the most powerful lessons hidden inside these stories. Because life doesn't promise that everyone you love will stay with you. It only gives you the chance to appreciate them while they're here. Another woman had been married for more than 80 years. When asked about marriage, she didn't talk about romance like a movie. She talked about being like-minded. Being on the same page, wanting to build a life together. After decades of marriage, love had become something deeper than excitement. It had become companionship, trust, commitment, and simply having someone beside you through the years. Then came another lesson. Don't let yourself become old before you actually have to. One man explained his philosophy with a simple phrase: don't let the old man in. He refused to spend his remaining years thinking about what he could no longer do. Instead, he kept finding something to look forward to. Exercise, games, projects, small goals. Because perhaps growing older isn't simply about the number of years you've lived. Maybe it's also about whether you still have a reason to get excited about tomorrow. And then there was health. Walk, stretch, exercise, eat properly, don't smoke, don't drink excessively. Take care of your body. One centenarian put it beautifully: guard your health. It's a precious gift. But perhaps the most surprising lesson wasn't about the body at all. It was about other people. These Americans repeatedly talked about helping their families, calling elderly people, visiting them, being kind, giving. One even said that you can't really get anywhere in life until you stop being so self-centered and start doing things for other people. After 100 years, that was what mattered. Not how many people knew your name, but how many people were glad you were in their life. And then came money. Their advice was surprisingly practical. Start small, be patient, watch the pennies, think about the long term. Because when you've lived a century, you start seeing something younger people often miss. Time is one of the most valuable things you own. And perhaps that's the real lesson from these Americans. They didn't discover some secret formula to living to 100. They simply kept living. They loved people, they worked, they lost people, they adapted. They made mistakes, they stayed curious, they kept moving. And whenever life gave them another difficult chapter, they turned the page. Technology changed, America changed, the world changed. But after 100 years, the things that mattered most remained remarkably simple. Love the people you have. Take care of yourself. Have something to look forward to. Help someone when you can. And when life becomes difficult, keep going. Because maybe the greatest lesson from people who lived for a century isn't how to live longer. Maybe it's learning how to make the years you already have actually matter.
And if stories like these remind you to see America and life itself a little differently, subscribe to America Through Europeans' Eyes.